In the quiet suburb of Haven, 7-year-old Elis Winters was always known as a bright, curious girl with an imagination too big for her little body. Her laughter once filled the halls of her family's 2-story home until the night of the thunderstorm. It started with a game. Elis's parents, James and Myra, had gone out for their anniversary dinner, leaving her in the care of a teenage sitter named Sky. Around 8:30 p.m., during a lull in the storm, Elis vanished during a game of hide-and-seek. Sky searched every room, calling her name, but it wasn't until she passed the hallway closet that she heard it scraping. Not from inside the closet, from beneath it, the crawlspace. It was a narrow opening, barely 2 feet tall. When Sky opened the hatch, Elis was curled up inside, eyes wide, whispering to the dirt floor. Elis, Sky gasped, "What are you doing down there?" Without turning around, Elis answered in a slow, gravelly voice, not her own. "They told me to hide here. The family under the dirt, they're cold." Sky yanked her out, shaken, but Elis only giggled and said she was joking. Only she wasn't the same after that. She stopped eating. She stopped blinking. She stopped being Elis. Her drawings filled with crude images of eyeless faces, people buried under floorboards, and black silhouettes with long fingers stretching through cracks in the walls. At night, her parents would wake up to her standing by their bed, staring. "Have you met the hollow one yet?" she'd ask. "He likes watching." James called in a priest after Elis bit her teacher hard enough to draw blood and whispered something in Latin afterward. But during the exorcism, the priest stopped halfway through, coughing violently as if choking on ash. Elis stared at him and smiled. "I told you," she said. "He's already inside." That night, James heard footsteps in the attic. When he investigated, all he found was Elis's voice echoing from behind the insulation. "It's not Elis anymore, Daddy." The next morning, the family was gone. No blood. No struggle. Only muddy footprints leading to the crawlspace. And a note scrawled in crayon on the wall. "We're all under the floor now." It was the middle of the semester when Cameron Moore joined Ms. Dahl's 6th grade class. Quiet, pale, always wore a dark green hoodie, even when it was blazing hot outside. No one knew where he came from. The office said he transferred from out of state, but when asked where, Cameron would simply reply, "Somewhere no one comes back from." The other kids made fun of him, of course, called him Creepy Cam. But they couldn't deny something was off. He didn't blink. He didn't eat at lunch, and no one ever saw him leave school. He'd just be gone. Then weird stuff started happening. Birds would slam into the classroom windows, breaking their necks. Desks would rattle when Cameron got upset. And one day, Ms. Dahl started coughing up black water, right in the middle of roll call. But the worst was when Benji, the class clown, snuck Cameron's backpack open to peek inside. He screamed, said he saw a shriveled hand inside, not a toy, not plastic. A real, rotting, adult-sized hand curled into a fist with something burned into the palm. Traded. When the teachers checked the bag, it was empty. The next day, Benji didn't show up for school, or the next day, or the next week. When the principal called his parents, they said, "We don't have a son named Benji." No photos of Benji in the yearbook. No name on the roster, like he never existed. The class was quiet after that. They didn't mess with Cameron anymore. But sometimes, when someone new enters room 13, he stares at them with that expressionless face and mutters just loud enough to hear, "You're next," and the black mold growing on the classroom ceiling. It seems to spread faster the closer you sit to Cameron. There was only one rule at Grandma's house: never turn on the TV after midnight. 12-year-old Justin always thought it was just one of Grandma's weird old rules, like don't eat cookies before dinner or never whistle indoors. But that summer, stuck in a creaky farmhouse with no Wi-Fi, curiosity got the better of him. It happened on his third night. At exactly 12:03 a.m., the old TV in the living room turned itself on white static. He went downstairs, assuming Grandma left it on, but she was snoring in her room. When Justin reached for the remote, a figure flickered across the screen. Not fully formed, just a faint silhouette of a little girl. She looked his age, and she was staring at him.
Come play. I'm so cold here.
Then she smiled. Justin blinked. The image was gone. The next night she returned, but this time she was whispering through the static. At first, it was hard to hear, but he made out words. The screen began to pulse, almost like it was breathing. When he told Grandma, she froze. Her eyes went glassy. Her voice dropped. That girl died here, long before we bought this house. The last owners tried to reach her with a seance. All that's left of her is in the static. Justin was terrified, but that night, he couldn't help himself. He turned the TV on at midnight. This time, the girl stepped closer, closer than the screen allowed. Her hand pressed against the glass. Then, it came through, and so did the rest of her. The next morning, the living room was empty. The TV was off, but Grandma found something on the couch. A single note, scribbled in shaky handwriting. I went to play. She says it's not cold anymore.